I know they regret it. And I know that from a very good source. That source? Sergio Pérez. Calm, composed, and quietly lighting a match under the very team that let him go. Just months after Red Bull cut him loose at the end of 2024, Perez is watching the fallout unfold, and according to him, it's not pretty. From Liam Lawson's two-race meltdown to Yuki Tsunoda's 7-point salvage mission, Red Bull has gone from dominant juggernaut to one-car team clinging to the coattails of Max Verstappen. Now, Checo says the team that once blamed him for every second-seat failure is finally being forced to look in the mirror and see they made a huge mistake. They made some decisions under pressure they put on themselves. And they regret it deep down. That is not speculation. Perez insists the message came straight from someone in the team. Someone who knows exactly what is being said behind closed doors. And he is not just talking about driver performance. Perez believes the real breakdown began earlier, when Red Bull's technical backbone began to disintegrate. With Adrian Newey leaving, Jonathan Wheatley retiring, and Ricciardo getting dropped, Red Bull swapped heritage for turmoil. And the new order? It's just not taken hold. So, did Red Bull get rid of Checo too soon? Or are they finally harvesting what they sowed by ignoring fault lines within their own ranks? Like and subscribe for more F1 analysis, and keep watching. For what Perez says next might change how you look at this entire story. Sergio Pérez is not bitter. He's eager to note that. But neither is he pretending everything is okay at Red Bull. For since he left, it's all only gotten worse. Having dropped Perez, Red Bull placed it all on Liam Lawson, a risk aimed at injecting youth and energy into the second seat. But it dissolved right away. 2 races, no points. Before anyone could blink, Lawson was out, and Yuki Tsunoda was in. And the outcome? A second driver with just 7 points in 8 races. Meanwhile, Red Bull has dropped to 4th in the constructors' standings, a staggering 212 points behind McLaren. Max Verstappen himself has garnered 155 of their 162 points. Red Bull, the dynasty of the last 4 years, has become a one-man show. And Perez, he's speaking the one truth that nobody else has the courage to speak. I wasn't the problem. The car began to change. It was increasingly adapted to Max's driving style, and when I complained, it was as if nobody quite listened. Later, people were like, Checo was right. But by then, the decision was taken. That's a brutal recognition, and an illuminating one. For months, Perez was positioned as the underperformer, the weak link, the reason Red Bull was vulnerable. But now, Tsunoda and Lawson have performed worse. So was the second seat cursed? Or was it never meant to work for anyone other than Max Verstappen? Tell us what you think. Was Perez unfairly criticized? Or is this what happens when you're not Max? And to contribute to the messiness, Perez asserts Red Bull's downturn isn't solely due to drivers. It started the day Adrian Newey departed. We had a good team. It slowly fell apart, but it really was something special. And that's why it hurts. When Adrian left, that's when the problems really started. Nostalgia, forget about it. That's a pointed jab at Red Bull's management. Thanks to the fact that Adrian Newey wasn't just a wind tunnel wizard, he was the stabilizer, the guy who kept the house in check when things got wild. Take him out, and the whole structure is compromised. Then there was the departure of Jonathan Wheatley, the team's sporting director and one of the few voices that balanced out Christian Horner's influence behind the scenes. Now you have Max at the front, with no one behind him, and a leadership team eager to fill in the gaps. Even Christian Horner's decisions are under the microscope now. Dropping Ricciardo, shuffling the driver academy, overruling Helmut Marko on junior promotions. It's a political minefield. And Perez, he's been watching it all, from the outside. It's a quiet statement, but one with weight. Perez isn't asking for an apology. He's just making it clear Red Bull broke something they might not be able to fix, and the numbers back him up. Since he left, Red Bull's second car has contributed less than 5% of the team's total points. Their constructors' hopes gone, their image as an unstoppable force cracked. So the question is, do they double down and ride it out with Tsunoda, Or will they admit they've made a string of mistakes that go far beyond the number 2 driver? Checo Pérez may be out of the paddock. But he's not done talking, and he's definitely not done racing, not if he can help it. Don't let the calm tone fool you beneath the surface, beneath every measured word and polite deflection. There's something building. Perez wants more than a comeback. He wants to send a message. Things are about to change. I don't want to end my career like this, he said. I've been very fortunate with the career I've had, but I know I still have more to give. And now he's linked to the most mysterious and potentially game-changing project on the 2026 grid. Cadillac. The Andretti Cadillac entry is still fighting for full factory acceptance, but in the background, talks are accelerating, and according to reports, Perez is one of their top targets. What he brings goes way beyond racecraft. He brings brand gravity, sponsorship muscle, and a fan base that stretches across continents for Cadillac. That's the launch pad they need. You won't hear it in the press, but behind the scenes, Checo's already deep in discussion. It's going. Well, he confirmed it's still early, but as things progress, I'll be able to make a final decision. I'm in no rush. The tone is quiet, but the message is clear because comebacks hit harder when no one sees them coming. And let's not ignore the subtext. Cadillac is American. F1's future is increasingly American. And Red Bull, despite the branding, they're losing grip on both performance and perception. If Cadillac gives Checo a seat, and he comes back competitive, even semi-consistent, the narrative flips. The guy Red Bull cut could end up being the one who helps launch F1's newest powerhouse team. Actually, would you back Checo at Cadillac in 2026? Or do you think he's better off retiring with dignity? Let us know in the comments. We are curious to know your opinions, but here's the twist. No one's talking about Checo's eyes might be on the future, but his words keep circling back to Red Bull and what they lost. They made the decision under pressure. Pressure they helped create, and now they regret it. I know that from a very reliable source. That's the quote. That's the needle in the eye, because even if Red Bull never admits it publicly, even if Christian Her stands at every podium with a smile and a sound bite, Checo's letting everyone know the truth. Leaks. The whispers inside Milton Keynes have reached him, and they're not proud whispers. This move feels personal, intentional, like the next piece in a larger plan. He knows what it means to be scapegoated, to be written off, to be blamed for not adapting to a car that was never built for him. And now that the same car has left everyone else struggling, he's not saying, "I told you so." He's saying, "I knew you would." And maybe most revealing of all, Checo still praises Max for stapping openly. Max deserves everything. He's incredible. People don't understand how good he really is. That kind of quote, that's intentional, that's surgical. It separates the driver from the team. It lets Checo support the man while keeping pressure on the machine that tried to push him out quietly. So where does this leave us? Red Bull unraveling a solo act, leaning harder than ever on Verstappen, a bench of drivers that's gone from bold to desperate in just 8 races, and a leadership core losing pieces faster than they can replace them. Sergio Pérez, calm, calculated, and connected, a free agent in name, only already in motion for 2026, already controlling the narrative, the fans watching a rare Formula One drama where the guy who was cut might actually win the breakup. So, what do you think? Did Red Bull make a fatal mistake letting Checo go? And if Cadillac lands him, is that enough to change the 2026 grid? Drop your thoughts in the comments. There's more happening off the track than most fans realize.